Hello and welcome to Alfons Zeileis. The 30th of January 1933 will become a fateful day for Germany. Reich President Hindenburg will appoint a new Reich Chancellor. This new Reich Chancellor will establish a dictatorship in Germany. Let us examine the historical facts. The Schleicher government, which does not have a majority and rules exclusively with Hindenburg and emergency laws, resigns on 28th of January 1933. Von Papen, whose minority government failed before Schleicher in 1932, has been conducting negotiations behind the scenes. He wants to frame and thus control a government under Reich Chancellor Hitler with bourgeois conservative ministers. Hindenburg officially appoints Adolf Hitler as Reich Chancellor on 30th of January 1933. The National Socialists celebrate this day as the day they seized power, the coup d'etat or the revolution. It was none of these things. After a democratic election, a minority government was simply formed. On 1st of February 1933, the Reichstag is dissolved. Hitler forms his cabinet with von Papen as his deputy. Reichstag elections are scheduled for 5th of March 1933. However, von Papen and Hindenburg counted their chickens before they were hatched. During the night of 27th to 28th of February 1933, the Reichstag is set on fire and burns down completely. The circumstances surrounding the fire are never clarified. The NSDAP assumes that it was an attempted uprising by the KPD. KPD party offices are closed, officials are arrested, and large parts of the left-wing press are banned. On 28th of February, Hitler's cabinet passes an emergency decree for the protection of the people and the state, which suspends fundamental rights. The elections on 5th of March 1933 are still reasonably free in terms of voters, but the leading communist politicians are in protective custody or have gone into hiding. In this respect, the election is a farce. In the German Reich, the NSDAP receives 43.9%, the SPD 18.3%, the Centre Party and the Bavarian People's Party 14%, the KPD 12.3%, and the Black-White-Red Combat Front, formed from the German National People's Party and the Stahlhelm, 8%. In Neustadt, the NSDAP receives 52.9%, the SPD 14.3%, the Centre Party and the BVP 22.1%, and the KPD 9.6%. Before the first session of the newly elected Reichstag, the KPD's seats are annulled. This is a violation of the Weimar Constitution. Without the KPD's seats, the NSDAP would have had an absolute majority. Nevertheless, the NSDAP forms a coalition with the Black-White-Red Combat Front in order to have an absolute majority, including the votes of the KPD. It is able to persuade the centrist parties, the Centre Party, the Bavarian People's Party and the German State Party, to agree to the enabling act to remedy the distress of the people and the Reich, which authorizes the government to pass decrees, laws and treaties with foreign countries without the consent of Parliament. The laws are allowed to deviate from the Weimar Constitution. The Reichstag has no means of control. It is effectively abolished. The first quarter in Neustadt is dominated by the elections. Rallies are held. The party organizes events. Elections aside, life in Neustadt goes on. Newspapers report a terrible accident in Neunkirchen about 90 kilometers away. A gasometer has exploded. There are 54 victims. How is it possible that over half of Neustadt's eligible voters vote for the NSDAP? Are there only Nazis living in Neustadt? We will look at this in the next video.